Howdy folks, welcome to Katie Phillips Scrapbook Designs. I'm Katie and this is my little crafty haven. Today we're going to work on the remaining 2 base pages for the Mermazing album. So in the previous video we added fins 2 and 3. We're going to add 3 and 4 today. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the base pages into the album. Now these base pages are, the usable space is 4 3/4 inches squared. So we've got 2 sheets of 110-pound cardstock cut to 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And we've got 2 sheets cut to, they're somewhere around here, 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. And we're going to score those at 1/2 inch. And then we're going to fold that 1/2 inch over and then make another score mark at 4 3/4. That has been very helpful in making sure that the pages fit together properly. I have done some prep work for this. Now let me see if I can find the 5 3/4 sections. This is them. Going to add these pages directly into the album without not adding the flaps just yet. We'll add the flaps while they're in the album. So I'm adding double-sided tape on the fins right up by the outer edge of the fin. And that's just because I want the inside edge to be grabbed by the tape. And we're going to taper that a little bit. That's just going to make it easier to get the page into the album. That's why I wasn't worried about going over with the tape, because you might have noticed that on this side the tape went like 1/4 inch past the edge of the fin. I'm going to burnish this tape down. And I'm only going to add fin number 3. Right now we'll add fin number 4. After we finish working on fin number 3, I'm going to add a little bead of glue just to the left of the release paper, and on the other side just to the right of the release paper, to give the binding just a little bit of extra security. The double-sided tape will catch and adhere immediately. The glue will dry over time and just provide extra security. So we're going to pull off just that tip of the release paper and slide the page down. We don't want to go down all the way because we don't want to be over the score line of the binding. Now I can grab the release paper, if my nails will cooperate with me, and pull it free. This is what I found working with this tool and the release paper. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pry up the release paper, and I'm going to get the hook underneath the release paper and then rotate the hook. It's kind of hard to see, but I've got the release paper pried up, and I'm going to rotate the hook and pull free like that. Hopefully that was in focus enough to see. For page number 5, we're going to build on a flap, and the flap is 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. We're going to score that at a 1/2 inch. You can just go ahead and do that while I'm explaining the rest of the page. So we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. Then it's going to have a pocket on top of the flap, actually. And this is a 5 3/4 by 3 inches. We're going to score the 5 3/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. And we're going to go ahead and fold that under. Press that flush up against here and then score at 4 3/4 inches. And the reason I've been doing this is actually 5 3/4 inches wide. So the reason we didn't score at the 5 1/4 inch mark is that the act of scoring it at the 1/2 inch mark altered the measurement just a little bit, and depending on how it folds, it might actually need to be placed just a little bit off. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but this score line is actually just over the 5 1/4 inch mark. It's almost halfway to the 5 3/8 inch mark. And we're going to score the 3 inch side at 1/2 inch. So that's the pocket that's going to go on the flap. There's also going to be a tip in on the side. So this measures 3 1/2 by 3. We're going to score the 3 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch. There's also underneath it going to be a frame. And the frame, right now the measurements are 4 by 3 1/2. We're going to score the 4 inch side at 1/2 inch. Fold this under and score at 3 inches. And the 3 1/2 inch side we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Actually, you know what? Probably the best thing to do would be to score the 3 inch side, 3 1/2 inch side at 3 inches. That way we're guaranteed that this is a 3 by 3 section here. And now we're going to get out the die machine. And I am using this is a Sizzix die. Yeah, it's just the die set is just called circles. And this is the the third die. So there's the smallest, second smallest, third smallest. Because we're not going to be able to get that next one on there. So I'm just going to die cut a circle out of the center here. On we go to page number 6, and page number 6 is going to be really similar to this. Really similar, totally different? No, it's not. It's not going to be totally different. However, we are going to have a 3x3 element with a hole in it. So let's go ahead, and we're also going to do 2 waterfalls on this page. Very similar to the waterfall that we did over here. So we've got just like this page, we got a 5 1/4 by 4 3/4 flap. This is the shaker back, it's 3x3. And this is the shaker front, it's 3 5/8 by 3. So let's go ahead and get the scoring going. And this is the acetate sheet, it's 2 7/8 squared. So we're going to score this at 1/2 inch and 5/8 of an inch. So we've got a little 1/8 inch gusset, and I'm not going to bother matting that little 1/8 of an inch gusset. We're going to score this flap on the 5 1/4 inch side. We're going to score this at 1/2 inch. I was going to put 2 waterfalls in here. I think that's going to be pushing it. Here and here, if I'd have thought about it, I would have made a larger gusset. So I think that's going to be pushing it. So we're going to put a waterfall on the inside here, and I'm only going to assemble 1 waterfall. So we got 4 little sheets of 3 1/2 inch squared, and we're going to score 1/2 inch. Doesn't, since it's same measurement on all sides, it doesn't matter which side you score it on. Just score it at 1/2 inch. For this page, we've got a pocket, which is 2 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches tall. We're going to score the 5 3/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. Then we're going to fold that under and score at 4 3/4. Then we're going to rotate it and we're going to score the 2 inch side. And it's really more like 1 7/8, but it's not that big a deal. We're going to score this at 1/2 inch. If you really wanted it to be a 2 inch pocket, you could just score it at 3/8 inch. That 1/8 of an inch isn't going to make that big of a difference in terms of how the pocket turns out. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to recut this actually to true 2 by 5 3/4. All right, let's try this again. So we've got 1/2 inch, hold that under, score it 4 3/4, and then on the 2 inch side, I'm going to score that at 1/2 inch. And then we've got 3 flaps, and they are 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. We're going to score the 3 3/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. I did the math in my head. If the measurements don't quite work out, we can always trim these flaps up a little bit. That pocket is so shallow, I don't want to trim it up much more than that. Last page. This one is going to be a little magnet heavy. We've got an accordion that is 4 3/4 by 6 1/2, and then we've got 2 flaps, and they're going to be magnetized together to make a pocket. And I'm going to show you how that's all going to work. I'm going to score this side at 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. We're going to score, this is a 4 1/2 by 2 inch flap. We're scoring that at 1/2 inch. This is 2 1/2 by 2. We're scoring the 2 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch. And let's glue everything down. We are going to deep miter, or do a deep taper on these tabs, because these are going to be fitted right up next to each other, and I do not want them interfering with each other. Okay, so the accordion that's going to go on the bottom. 2.5 inch flap. It's going to go adjacent to the spine. But we're going to make sure that the accordion will fit inside this flap, because that's going to wrap around the outside. And same thing on the other side with the 4.5 inch flap. And now to add the magnets that's going to hold all this in place, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4. Yeah, this page is magnet heavy. So we're going to start by placing the magnet on the small flap. Because we're going to want it as close to center as we can. Well, not necessarily center, sorry. We're going to want it right about there. So thank you guys very much for joining me, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The next episode is going to be starting to do the matting for the first, at least page 1 and 2. I don't know if we're going to get to 3 and 4 on the next video, but at least page 1 and 2. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment down below. All the materials that you can get at a First Run store are going to be listed and linked in the description box down below. We will see you guys next time. Bye.